Try to keep them a little out of reach up there.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we don't want her to take anything to me. I've lost enough limbs. I'm good enough as we are.
Yeah, that's it.
No more violence.
You look great. You both look wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, we look great because God is our provider, and He provides all of the products that we need, including
our makeup.
Including our makeup.
This is true. Yes, He is our provider, isn't He? Everything you need and then some.
Yes.
You know, and I found out in life very often we make a mistake. We ask God to give us what we want. Well, He says, I'll give you what you need, not what you want. And we can get ourselves in trouble that way. But I thank God He does provide what we need. And I appreciate that so much.
Wonderful. So you have, we're talking about God as our provider, and you came to the U.S. When you were 18, right?
That's correct, yeah.
And you went from a few dollars in your pocket.
Yeah, I had $40. I had $40 as 18, a place to stay in the Bronx. Listen, when you're 18 and you go to New York, the world is your oyster.
Yes, $40 in the Bronx, no problem. Life is mine.
But immediately God proved His providential care because I got a job within 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, as a bank. Oh, it's stereo. I like that. As a bank teller trainee, and God all throughout my life in this country certainly has been a provider, and I. At times, though, when things get good, you tend to forget because things are so good.
And they did get really good for you.
I mean, a beautiful wife. I left her in Jamaica, went back, and she said yes. We got married, came to live here. We had 3 wonderful kids.
Beautiful, intelligent children.
I got a career in the field of computer programming. It was wonderful. I joined Toastmasters to learn how to speak gooder. And,
and you did a phenomenal job of speaking gooder.
Ended up being the 1995 World Champion of Public Speaking, and that kind of changed my life. I went from computer programming to full-time speaking at a wonderful job with an organization that was part of Reader's Digest. And I had massive success. I spoke all over the country.
In the world.
I've spoken to maybe 1.8 million people on 5 continents.
Wow.
And in the full-time work, I was working with kids and youth. Somebody heard my program in Maine. They put it on television, had a PBS special. Somebody sent that to the Academy of TV Arts and Sciences, got an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Youth Program. Things are going really well. Kids are doing well, went to school, got 2 going to college. Fantastic. The company got sold. But they were doing well. My salary got higher and higher and higher. I got the 401k.
Yeah, you got to have that, right?
And before I knew it, I was making a 6-figure salary. And a couple of years ago, that all went away. I went from $150,000 a year to zero.
Almost overnight.
Pretty much. I had no medical coverage, and my insurance was about $1,100 a month in insurance premiums.
Oh my goodness.
And the severance. The severance was great. The severance was, I was severed.
You were severed from your position.
I went to zero with no severance package, so I walked out the door with nothing. And
and let's talk about the insurance for a minute. The health issues, the heart problems.
Oh, wow.
We're talking about the fact that you died in the hospital and God brought you back.
Wow.
The medical insurance is not just a general, in case I ever need it. It's actually...
I have to have it.
It's your life on the line. I just want to clarify that little.
I can't go through the whole story. Well, back in '93, I had blood clots in my lungs. That was the good news. The bad news was one massive clot inside my heart, which almost took me out. I was given at best a 50-50 chance. When I did recover, we had medical professionals who were surprised. And I asked my heart specialist, I said, why am I still here? He gave me a wonderful clinical medical answer. He said, I have no idea. He said, it's the grace of God.
Yeah.
Because it was.
That was 93.
A medical professional saying it is the grace of God. That is not often said.
Yeah, great guy. And I recovered. I was doing well. And in 2011, the clotting came back. I had an episode in 2011. And they said, okay, from now on, you have to be on medication for the rest of your life.
Right.
So I need the insurance. I need the medication. And all that went away. I had to start from scratch in my mid-50s. Now, for those watching, I am 56 years old. It is not my fault I look this good.
It's not fair either.
I blame my beautiful bride, Andrea. But I wouldn't want anyone, I wouldn't wish for anyone to have to restart their lives in their mid-50s from scratch. And, I know you talk a lot about being broken and being hurt. And I'll be really honest, when this happened, I kind of saw something coming, but I'd given so much to the organization. And at one point, I felt they had taken advantage of me. I made a very small request in return for a job I did for them. After I got fired, I was not compensated. And the request I made was ignored. I got to tell you, I was hurt. My wife was kind of broken by that.
Yeah.
So her faith was shaken. So now here I am, a world champion who is respected around the world. I go to China. Oh, Mark, can I get your autograph, your photograph? I am seen as a big fish in a small pond.
Right.
I'm seen as a celebrity to some people. But I come back home and I'm wondering, how am I going to pay my mortgage?
Right.
Where am I going to get groceries from? And as a man, we guys feel we must provide. That's our job.
Absolutely.
Because
No
God
question.
told Adam, you go to be a gardener and you take care of the garden, and your wife,
She
Right.
will she will love you and she'll provide for you. Well, you know what? I felt what men feel inadequate. It can be quite honestly emasculating.
It goes against your identity.
Yeah.
Especially when
you
that's
know?
been tied to being a provider.
And we were told, if you don't work, you don't eat. So I have to work.
Right.
And it's a very unique work being a full-time speaker. So I had to do like Jenny did and become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had an IRA account, which I had to cash in and pay a 30% tax
Oh, yeah.
liability to start my company. So I now am a full-time speaker, speaking coach. I do workshops, seminars, youth programs. My whole function is to help people achieve excellence in communication, in leadership, performance, and life. And I've been blessed to speak all over the world. But in that place, in that space, you're saying, God, how am I going to do this? My wife depends on me. My kids depend on me. I got to pay all my bills. I.
That's what I'm going to do this. How am I going to do
And
this?
it's like, stop. But then again, we go half step. You know, well, God is going to be my resource, okay? Because the word says he provide. But I realized, no, God isn't the resource. God is the source.
Yeah. The only.
God isn't the resource. God is the source. And I've continually had to lean on him and watch him do amazing things. When I had no clue where I'm going to pay my bill, fix my car, get some food, and somebody says, hey, Mark, Andrew, here, take this. It's $1,000. You know, you just want to cry and say, God, forgive me for doubting you.
Right.
And sometimes God has to knock on your door and ring your bell several times because how soon we forget. We become Israelite children.
Oh, yeah.
You're
We whine and
enslaved
fuss.
and you get released. I want to go back to Egypt. I had leeks to eat there. You were a
Right.
slave there. You want to go back to that? I've
Right.
got better for you if you just trust me.
And that transition is not easy.
Are you telling me? You know.
I know.
We've been friends for a while, so I know. We've been through, yeah.
Not an easy transition.
Yeah.
But I had to come to terms with the fact, you know, he's not a resource. He's the source, and I must depend on him as the only source.
Wow.
And the hard thing, and for gentlemen out there, the hard thing is it'll bruise your ego because you feel it's your job. You know, I mean, my wife's watching, and I want to contribute. I feel why? Because I'm not doing my job, and my ego gets in the way. We had this conversation yesterday driving here. That as a guy, you feel it's your job.
Yep.
As a single mom, you do too, by the way.
But God, of course, because you're providing. God says, no, I
Right.
am the one who will provide. And it's a journey of coming to terms with that, and at times needing to be reminded of that.
Right. And a
Because,
daily
yes,
reminder of that. And was there a time when you really felt like you were blooming in that trust with him, that you really felt like, oh, I feel like, yes, I trust you in the middle of this, and it was more of a instinct maybe rather than something that you had to keep working at?
Well, I confess, I had to keep working at it. But at some point, I found that one of my vehicles was constantly going to the Word. What does the Word say? I began to compile scriptures that spoke to my situation. I began to create YouTube video playlist of songs that spoke to my situation. And to this day, there are times I'll go to bed at night, and there are those who say, do not go to bed with your mobile phone near to your brain because you'll get... They do say that.
It's true. 4 feet, at least 4 feet
But
away.
I run my earbuds into my ear, I put my phone down, I hit my playlist, And I'll go to sleep hearing those songs playing in my mind. And I wake up in the morning, I don't want to get my feet on the floor until I reach over, get the Bible, and read something to lift me up, to encourage me, because I came to that point where I realized if I don't have this part of my life in order, I'll never find peace. I'll be continually worried and concerned about it.
So you had a song too that you said specifically touched you, and "Be Strong and Take Courage" by David Ritter.
Yeah.
Would you read some of the lyrics that specifically spoke to you and tell us why?
He says, "Be strong and take courage. Do not fear or be dismayed, for the Lord will go before you. His light will show the way. Be strong and take courage. Do not fear or be dismayed, for the one who lives within you will be strong in you today." Why don't you give him all your fears? Let him take all of your cares. He knows, he's been through pain before, and he knows all that you've been looking for. So be strong and take courage. Do not fear or be dismayed, for the one who lives within you will be strong in you today. Which means you can also bloom today. See what I did there? See that?
We like that use.
Absolutely. It's a daily thing. It's
Definitely.
a daily reminder.
Every day, yes.
And I love those lyrics. He is within you.
Yes.
He is with you always.
And greater is he who is within you than he who is in the world. And, we pray the Lord's Prayer, give us today our daily bread.
Don't you wish it said weekly bread, or yearly bread?
It's like lifetime bread, man. But every day we got to trust him every day. And he has come through for my wife, me, our family, at times unexpectedly, but he always has. When the need arises, he provides.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's funny? When there was going to be a bill that was late in this whole trusting him to provide thing, and I was like, God, this is late. How can it be late? And he's like, Paula, if I pay it late, I pay the late fees too. And I went, oh. Like he's always on time for what he provides. He's not always providing what we want or what we think we should have or whatever, but he consistently provides what he wants for us.
He does. And it's funny you mentioned the late bill of my medical insurance is deducted automatically every month.
Right.
And a couple of times in the last 2.5 years, I got an email saying, is there a different car we can use? It didn't go through. And the very next day,
he provides.
The money comes in. I tell him, run it again.
Yeah.
And
it goes through.
That's
it went through so well last month, did it twice by mistake.
Oh, my goodness.
I said, guys,
that can cause problems.
He's overly provided.
took it twice.
Mark, that is why you are our ex-victim of the week.
Oh, wow.
And we have a gift for you.
Oh, thank
Chocolates
you.
and tissues and even a tattoo because we think everyone should have an ex-victim.
A tattoo, I'm not sure my wife would like that, but I tell you what, if I use a tattoo, I know I can give her the chocolates.
Yes. So you can use the fertilizer
of your past?
Of your past.
To bloom today. Thanks so much, ladies. Thank you so much.
You're amazing.
A free PDF copy of the Bloom in the Dark book and a full list of Bloom Today's coaching tools can be found on bloomtodaytv.com. Then visit Bloom Today's Facebook group for deeper conversation.